have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Roger roll, Discovery.
Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
And this week we're going to talk about FEMA death camps, the conspiracy.
Ooh.
FEMA death camps coming to a town near you. Probably, maybe, or not. We'll find out. So we'll start the show as we usually do with thanking our new and returning listeners and then some weird news, and then we'll crack on the main cut and thrust. So let's see, where should we start? Brownwood, Texas, United States. Dubai in the Arab Emirates. Balikpapan in Indonesia. Chennai, India. Bedford, United Kingdom. Seattle, Washington. Reading in the UK. Clifton, New Jersey. Bedford, Canada. Shrewsbury in the United Kingdom. That's not far up the road. Stanmore, United Kingdom. Los Angeles. Brussels in Belgium. You're back again.
And we assaulted them last week.
I know. Suckers for punishment, the Belgians. Belgians, so they got invaded twice.
That's them gone next week.
Bengaluru, India. You're always here, well done. San Antonio, Texas. Atlanta, Georgia. Sydney, Australia. Ashburn, Virginia. Dublin, Ireland. Guadalajara, Spain. Zaragoza, Spain. Zaragoza, Spain. And Shady Nasty, New York. Welcome back, thank you all.
Zaragoza.
Well, whatever. Jesus Christ. Spain, mate, everyone speaks English.
Jesus Cristo in Spain, mate.
Oh, well, that's true. I still know that means Jesus Christ, though. It's a bit of a giveaway. Weird news.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
Quote here from the Daily Star: "Looked like a werewolf running around the terrifying Dog-Man of Lincolnshire."
That's just the general population of Lincolnshire. I think this is being racist to Lincolnshire.
I've been to Lincolnshire, it's alright. It's quite posh. There have been reports of a giant dog-like creature in the region dating back to the 1600s. And
He's old, isn't he?
He is. And photos show there could be something very strange going on.
That looks like a wolf.
That's not an actual picture of it. That'd be absolute proof, though. Lincolnshire locals have been terrorised by a huge dog-man creature for hundreds of years, a paranormal expert says. Lee Solway, host of the Realm of the Supernatural podcast. Why aren't we getting Daily Star interviews? We do this shit. Why aren't they calling us up and saying, hey, can you be a paranormal expert for this article?
We're not paranormal experts.
Well, he's only a podcast host.
Well, technically, what do you have to be a paranormal expert?
Exactly.
It's not like he's got a doctorate.
Boom. That's it.
He may do.
Well, no, because they'd call him Dr. Solway, wouldn't they?
Not if it's a doctorate in paranormal psychology.
Yeah.
Should we go and get doctorates?
Yes.
I don't think that's a real degree, is it? Surely.
You can get any these days, can't they?
Yeah. Venkman. Oh, the Ghostbusters had degrees in something psychology.
Oh, well, if it was in Hollywood, then it must be true.
Of course. Okay then, so Mr. Solway says there was a particularly eerie encounter in 1995, so quite recent then. When a local Grimsby official was notified by a security guard that something that looked like a werewolf running around had been spotted at a caravan park.
Fuck me, is that it?
Just happened to be Halloween night.
When the man arrived on the scene to investigate, he found a van parked on the road and no one inside. But terrified locals hiding nearby called out to him to run, saying a huge wolf with glowing eyes had chased off the previous guard.
Oh, look at that. A twisted tree that's been broken in the woods. Must be a wolf, man.
I can't think of another plausible explanation, can you?
No.
The official never saw the creature, and the first security guard never returned to work, probably because he'd been killed and eaten by the Wolfman. American cryptid fanatics have long documented sightings of the folkloric Dog-Man, even capturing said creature on camera. The legend is described as a 7-foot-tall, blue or amber-eyed canine-like animal with the torso of a man and a fearsome howl. The first reported sighting of the Dog-Man in North America came in 1887, and there have been multiple reports since then.
Well, he gets about that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does. he's a Travis littlest hobo.
It's like Mothman, isn't he?
Yeah, Mothman gets about.
So they have secret teas. Afternoon teas when they meet.
Oh, I'd like that. All the cryptids meeting up in the forest. Like, sat on tree stumps with a tree stump in the middle.
Bigfoot, like.
Yeah, you got Bigfoot, Mothman, Jersey Devil, Chupacabra.
If you go into the woods today, we'll have a big surprise.
Yeah, you're gonna get raped by Bigfoot.
Or Dog-Man just watches and jerks off.
Yeah. It ends up being like the fearsome critters from South Park, the cutie critter things. But they're actually like flesh-eating monsters. Well, yeah, there's a Dog-Man loose in Lincolnshire. He's been there since the 1600s, apparently. People have seen him all the time.
Oh, that sounds like the Panther of Benthal, but 7 miles away from here.
Actually, funny you should mention that. I was out walking back last night, and my neighbour.
It's moved to Torley.
No.
Sorry.
And my old neighbour saw him on the field at the back of my dad's. I was talking to him, and he said he seen a panther trotting around. Yeah, said he saw this big cat when he was out walking the dog one morning, because someone else saw it as well around there. Well, it's been sighted a few times around here. I think we need to go and look for it and catch it.
The Ironbridge Panther.
Yeah. That'll be an episode. We'll do it live. Be like Blair Witch.
With some steak.
Yeah.
On the end of a stick.
It needs to
Got a big ball of string.
and some cheese. Whatever. Okay, yeah. Twisted Trees. Be a good name for a band.
Next up, vegan cannibals rejoice. There's finally a plant-based version of human flesh. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hufu is the healthy human flesh alternative, a plant-based product developed for vegan cannibals. Don't worry, it's actually tofu.
So if there's vegan cannibals, there's got to be cannibals somewhere, aren't there?
Oh, I bet there is, yeah. The cannibal that eats other cannibals. Yeah.
Cannibals, well, yeah, just a cannibal.
Yeah, we've had loads of stories, haven't we? We went through in the cannibalism one, didn't we? Went
Yeah.
through all the headlines. There's like shitloads of incidents of cannibalism.
Yeah,
I bet it tastes like bacon.
yeah, apparently pork, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the buttocks first, they're the best cut. The rump.
Are they?
Something we learned. Yeah. Well then, Mike.
Mark Knuckles, the founder and CEO of Hufu, thought up the concept while eating a tofurkey sandwich and reading Good to Eat, Riddles of Food and Culture, a book about humankind's food habits and cannibalism. Hufu was marketed toward cannibals who want to quit. At the time, its website said Hufu is a great convenience food for cannibals. No more Friday night hunting raids. Stay home and enjoy the good healthy taste of Hufu.
Wow. Fantastic.
It sounds horrible. It sounds nasty.
I'd try it.
Oh, never.
I don't see the point in it.
Does it taste like human flesh, but it's not?
It doesn't though, does it? It's tofu.
Yeah.
It's like when you have them
Like
corn burgers.
Corn burgers.
It's
are
not,
just
it's not beef, is it? You can
burgers,
tell
are
it.
they?
Yeah, but I've never eaten tofu, so I would just assume then that tofu tasted like human flesh. Never eaten tofu. Do I look like a man that eats tofu? Sat here in me can of
Chew on a
lager.
piece of rubber. Yeah, that's pretty much tofu.
Oh right. Okay. I've never had it. Never had it. I'm not an exotic eater, surprisingly. I'd try that. I'd be intrigued.
But you just said you don't want to eat tofu.
Yeah, but then I'll think that tofu tastes like human flesh and I'll make sure I'm never a cannibal.
Try the tofu first.
Alright, I'll try the tofu first and then I'll try the human flesh.
Next week, Ben eats tofu.
Can you buy it in a supermarket?
Ben, yeah, there's a whole wide range of all sorts.
Is it in the frozen or the fresh?
Fresh oil, I believe.
I honestly don't know.
Next to your cheese, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, or hummus and all that shit, mate.
Well, I've had hummus. Is that?
It's not tofu,
No.
it's hummus.
The hummus is
Chickpeas.
chickpeas just ground up with a bit of oil, garlic.
Yeah, I like
lime.
that.
I
Oh,
like tofu then, I don't know. I've never had tofu to be fair.
I have. It's real like rubbery. It's like cheese with no flavour.
Oh, dear.
oh, that's a shame. I
Really
love
sort of
cheese.
Rubbery. Nasty.
Yeah, that is a shame because I do love cheese.
So what, we're pretty much just promoting burgers on this show.
Yeah. I had some cracking steak burgers the other day actually, got from the co-op, it's lovely. Sorry, anyway. Yeah, if you're a vegan, if you're a cannibal and you want to quit, you can now buy tofu, hoofu even. Tofu that tastes like human meat.
I think you're stupid personally, but
I don't like the vegetarian bacon.
no.
Just no. Just don't do it. Just eat your vegetables. If you're committing, just commit.
Yeah. Yeah, don't cheat.
Don't cheat with your veggie bacon that looks like a piece of tongue. Right. Scientists have spliced human genes into monkey brains to make them bigger in a terrifying Planet of the Apes style experiment.
This isn't a good idea.
No.
No. So they've got the gene and taken stem cells from a human brain and placed them into the brains of common marmosets, and within a week they've grown twice as big.
That's really not good.
No. Who the fuck is giving this a green light?
I wonder what country it is. It doesn't actually say. But yeah, scientists have decided to abort the fetus
Oh, thank God for that.
due to possible unforeseen consequences.
Foreseen by normal people that aren't psychopaths.
Oh man, it's in Germany.
Is it?
It's in Germany.
I haven't got that far.
And somewhere in Japan. Oh my God, and they didn't do dodgy medical shit back in the Second World War, did they? The Germans and the Japanese, they never did any of that. This is exactly the kind of shit they'd have been doing in the death camps. Bastards.
It was a German and Japanese collaboration.
Well, they produce larger neocortexes, the area of the brain linked with functions of cognition and language. So we might have had monkeys trying to talk.
Hello, old boy.
Give me that
Stop
pipe.
putting down my fucking home.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're going to realise that we're killing monkeys by the day, burning down the home of the wild monkeys, and they're going to get really pissed off at us.
I'll give you monkey AIDS. What?
Oh yeah, the brain also has developed folds and wrinkles to allow a larger sort of brain mass to fit in the restrictive space of the unevolved skull.
Fuck hell.
Jesus Christ, so the brain's getting bigger and it's adapting to fit into the skull.
And that could bring on some sort of issues in itself, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brain gets too big for the skull, starts squeezing out their heads.
Yeah, then you get brain damage.
Yeah.
That might slow them down for a bit until their skull evolves.
That takes a very long time.
Yeah, we've got to be really sort of careful what we do here. Shit like this isn't good.
No, that's an understatement in all fairness. This is 2020 ends with us fighting fucking super intelligent chimps. That's how it works. That's how it's going to end. That's the finale.
Yeah.
Dressed in little stormtrooper.
Yeah, Nazi chimps. They get exposed to the media. They learn the English through the media, become right-wing chimps. Before you know it, they're dressed in little SS uniforms, goose-stepping down the street.
Fuck.
Developing firearms, stealing our firearms. Then they get the fucking codes to the nukes, and that's it.
Don't like it, Ben.
I don't like it either. We're digging that shelter. We're starting next week. I'm just convinced.
I just say we nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
The German one or the Chinese one? Both?
Both. Destroy them with nuclear fire from orbit.
Oh, and then some of them are like, you know, they'll go all like mutant radiation sort of.
Some of them get radioactive.
Yeah.
And
Some of them will survive because it's a very deep installation, you see.
Yeah.
I didn't think this through.
No, we just need one of them bunker buster things. You know.
Is that a special bomb?
Yeah, they like dig in and then explode.
Ooh.
How about we just give them the rage virus and I'll kill each other?
No, because when one gets out, spreads it to us, you fool!
It'll be fine.
What if the last survivor gets out and just attacks some bloke walking his dog?
What we'll deal with that problem when we come back.
Well, you know, everyone's got... What? Should we put some tape over the door as well to stop people going in?
For fuck's sake, Mike, the butterfly effect.
Jesus, Mike. The science officer.
It was a joke for fuck's sake.
Now it is.
No, it is. This is bad all round, man.
It is. Bad like the fucking apes. I do not want to have to find like the ruins of Westminster Parliament and Big Ben and I had to drop to my knees and go, no, you maniacs.
Well, I don't mind to take out the government, that's not a problem.
I wouldn't. Well, I don't want to see the entirety of when I realised it was my planet.
Yeah, but then I don't want to be saving the tin mines for our ape overlords.
They'll just wipe us out.
Oh, they keep us for slave labour, Saugus.
We've already got monkeys rising off with kids on a bike.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
They're pretty smart.
I saw that video.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah.
So is that it for weird news? Right, I'm on paper this week. Ooh. So, FEMA death camps. FEMA, by the way, stands for Federal Emergency Management Agency, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. So, FEMA is the United States government agency tasked with the effective management of major emergencies within the country, including ensuring the continuity of government during a large-scale disaster, such as nuclear war. It provides federal relief to areas affected by natural disasters. That's the official description of FEMA. The official version. At least that's what they're telling you the official version is.
So there is definitely camps then?
No, there would be in the event of a major disaster, because they obviously have to, like, if you got refugees or homeless people, you've got to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
So they would usually commandeer school halls, football stadiums, anywhere that people can stay under shelter, be commandeered and turned into... They get ultimate power, basically, in a men's event. Think Tommy Lee Jones in Volcano.
Yeah.
You know I love referencing that movie.
Such a shit movie.
It is shit.
I love it.
It's fucking awful.
I love it. It's going to be a movie pick one day, but I'll make you both watch it. So, that's what FEMA does, allegedly. Now, the FEMA camp's conspiracy theory holds that the FEMA is planning to imprison US citizens in concentration camps. This is typically described as following the imposition of martial law after a major disaster or crisis. In more extreme versions, large numbers of US citizens will be imprisoned for extermination as a new world order is established.
Right.
So if there's a disaster, possibly like a nuclear war, they cover that. And they go, okay, all your rights, all your constitutional rights are suspended, it's martial law, we're in charge now, we've got the authority to take over, we've got to maintain working government. You lot, you're no slave labour.
They are anyway.
Yeah, but
Wage slaves.
I thought that some of these camps are actually already set up and stuff, and they've got, like, you know...
well, we can go through that later on if you like. All these so-called camps are either that people have seen on Google Earth. One is actually in North Korea. It's just fake.
No.
The others are military camps that are abandoned and haven't been demolished. And let's face it, FEMA may well actually own such places, or certainly have kept such places open in case of a disaster in the area.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Whether or not they're concentration camps or not is a different matter. A lot of people claim that the razor wire on the top is focused in rather than out, as if it's just keep people from getting out. But
Right.
I think to myself, well, at the end of the day, there's razor wire on top of it, so it's putting you off climbing it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make things more... It doesn't matter whether it's facing forward or back, you're still going to get over it.
Yeah. It's facing forward. It's more. It's hard to overhang it, isn't it, and get round it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. But obviously, if it was facing out, it would put people off more because they'd go to overhang it. But all these ones face in, apparently. But a lot of them are training centres that just aren't used all the time.
Yeah.
We'll have an article for later if you want to go. We'll go through a few of them. It's not a new theory, this, by the way. Goes back to at least the late 70s. Started originally kind of late 60s, but never really sort of took off. Late 70s, it started to get a bit more spread throughout the right wing, because it is a right wing conspiracy theory, surprisingly. And it's since been making a comeback with colourful fools on the internet.
No shortage of them, is there?
I say colourful, I say that affectionately. You know, some people will literally believe anything. We're all in conspiracy groups. Someone asks like a really dumbass fucking question, and all of a sudden there's a massive heated debate on whether he's onto something.
Yeah. I always thought it was more about doomsday planning inside mountains and that, like with places to grow stuff in case of asteroids or anything that could hit us.
Yes, technically I suppose they would be. If say we had warning that an asteroid was going to hit us, then I'd imagine FEMA would be in charge of digging the bunkers and hollowing out the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
But in the
I imagine they've got a lot of bunkers
Already.
for important people, yeah.
what you've got oh god, what's that? They hollowed out a Cheyenne Mountain. It's the NSA's fucking HQ. They literally hollowed out a mountain. It's got springs fucking underneath it.
What?
Because in the event of a nuclear blast, obviously, it's going to make the entire mountain shake. So they actually put suspension under the mountain.
Fuck.
That's how deep it goes.
Yeah, they're all sorted, the elites. They've got escape plans.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean the super rich were buying up loads of bunkers earlier on the year when the pandemic started hitting. So basically, some major shit goes down, FEMA's emergency powers come in, it effectively becomes the government, the constitution will be suspended and citizens will be rounded up and moved into camps, so goes the theory. Dissidents, who are typically gun-owning patriots, will be moved into camps and either used for forced labour or executed. Bill Cooper, the father of conspiracy theory, wrote a book called Behold a Pale Horse, which is allegedly all the stuff he saw when he was working for the Office of Naval Intelligence. Basically, he said in his books or on his radio show a lot, if they're gonna come for us, and it's probably gonna be on the 4th of July because they know that every patriot will be drunk. Right?
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
he'd be like, get out of town on the 4th of July. Get out of town, go somewhere else, go camping somewhere off the grid if you can, or don't get drunk and prepare. That was his thing. 4th of July isn't going to happen.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Other versions state that plans are in place to imprison and kill apolitical citizens as part of a population control plot.
Apolitical,
Yes.
so non-political.
And obviously dissidents. But, I think to myself, well, why go after the gun owners and the massively obese? Why go and round up like all the...
Well, the gun owners, because they'd be a threat, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but it's like population control. So, well, they're going to die of diabetes anyway soon.
Not before they come in and storm your palace or whatever.
They're hardly going to fucking do that at a sprint, though, are they? They'll keel over and have a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, but outnumbered, aren't you?
But if you think that they're coming after the patriots, who tend to be massively obese gun owners with red hats, I'm generalising. Sorry, American listeners, if you own a gun, I don't mean any offence. But this is patriots usually leads to someone having a Confederate flag outside their fucking house. Why go after them?
Well,
What are they going to do?
Well, in this instance, they go after everybody, aren't they?
I suppose so. I suppose obviously the NWO is left wing, it's never right wing, of course. Anyway, the right wing militia group, who are called the Oath Keepers, they have 10 orders they'll not follow, and that involves not rounding people up. They will never round people up.
Who are these?
These are guys called the Oath Keepers.
Who are they?
They're a militia group, a right wing militia group who believe in this.
Right.
And they're this list of tenets that they will never do.
Okay.
Obviously, they're a militia group. They want to take down the government. Ideally, they don't like the government, or they're there to take down the government. Should
They become corrupt.
they become corrupt?
Yeah. They better hurry up.
And then the last factor really is that they will, in the conspiracy theory amongst the right wing groups, is that FEMA will use urban gangs as auxiliaries to ensure order within the camp. So you know, like
the Bloods and the Crips.
The Bloods and the Crips have been like deputised.
Right.
Yeah. Now, 1982, you get a reference in the press. It's one of the first known references to the theory that was published, and it was issued by the wonderfully named Posse Comitatus in 1982. It's Force of the Country in Latin, and it was a loosely organised far-right populist social movement in the 1960s. Started off then. They're basically conspiracy-minded, they're anti-government, they're anti-Semitic, and they believe that white Christians' social and political rights are under attack.
Oh dear.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? The real concentration camps are the ones that they're housing asylum seekers in.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping kids in cages, separate from their parents. These are the real concentration camps. Yet they don't have a problem with that because they're not white Christians.
No.
Makes you sick, man.
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? It's like exactly the opposite of what Jesus said. Like, love thy neighbour, help the poor.
And how is the white man in America being more persecuted than those of minority races?
You never heard of the
All
war?
the evidence points totally to against that, doesn't it?
Have you never heard of the war on Christmas?
It's bullshit.
They run it every year, like,
Yeah.
you can't say Happy Christmas anymore, you can't say Merry
greetings
Christmas.
instead.
You know, or like Happy Holidays.
Yeah, say happy holidays.
It's not just the US, it's over here, isn't it?
Well,
So
really?
the Sainsbury's advert and the Tesco's advert with black families just enjoying a Christmas day, and there's been like loads of complaints and
Yeah.
stuff. Just shows you how, you know, it's quite prominent everywhere, isn't it? It's
It
not,
is.
you know.
It is, it's actually, it is meant, people have been melting down over that advert, and it's like, well, I don't watch live TV, so I don't watch
It's
it.
a family having a Christmas dinner.
It's like, it doesn't bother me what colour they are. It doesn't bother me whether there's 2 dads and 2 mums or whatever. I don't care. The message is the same. They're trying to sell me their shit.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
I saw a cool meme, like, because one person had said, I just can't relate to this family, and then like someone put a meme up of the Aldi Christmas where everyone's a carrot or a vegetable. Like, you know, no one can relate to being a vegetable.
I think the thought processes of some of the people who've complained about it are quite vegetable-like.
Yeah, the proper carrots.
But yeah, you're right, and it's like every year someone has to bitch about something. Oh my God, they're showing a Muslim family celebrating Christmas, and you're like, well, yeah, a lot of them do, because they're off work, they're together, they do both.
Yeah, because everyone gets the day off,
They,
off anyway, you know.
They do their festival before, and then they do Christmas as well.
Yeah.
What's it matter?
I mean, how many people do Christmas that are religious?
Well, that's it. I mean, how many of us go to church on Christmas Day?
Not many.
No.
I wouldn't staggered into midnight mass, drunk in Brusley. But like, hi.
Were you swinging a bottle of beer around your head?
No, I finished that.
Left it
Sat in
outside.
the back, sang a bit. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
My mate went into an all-black gospel church on acid.
Yeah,
He loved it.
Heaven from.
He said he-
I'd love to go to a gospel church.
Yeah.
I would sing happy day, happy day.
It's not fucking Sister Act, Claire.
Really, they're not all like that.
No.
Oh, bollocks!
We haven't even got Whoopi Goldberg leading it.
Shit.
And the old nun breakdancing or whatever the fuck happened.
The James Brown sort of look-alike at the front. Sort of pastor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and please don't turn the show into a musical.
We've been musical over the years.
Yeah, we have. We have an album.
We do.
You and Gaz have an album. I just listened to it. Anyway, so Black Helicopters, you remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're linked to the militia groups. They're spying on them.
Right, of course.
And of course they're owned by the UN. Or they're an alien species, as we found out in that one article, where they gestate.
That was amazing. Go back and listen to that if you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Gestate.
Yeah. They were the reason for cattle anus coring and cattle mutilations.
There's a theory that the black helicopters are actually a living species.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
They start off small and grow big.
So they get born, and that's why there's cattle mutilations. Is the black helicopter feeding on the cow and then exiting with its rotor blades through its anus, and then it goes off and starts spying on people, and they mate and everything.
It's amazing.
It was, yeah. Go back and listen to that if you. The theory did decline in the early 2000s as foreign terrorists was perceived as the major threat.
Yeah.
So, there's not going to be a disaster, it's going to be a terrorist attack. Mm-hmm. However, Obama's election fueled it again, and there was a resurgence in the militia movement and a corresponding boom in the prepper industry.
Do they just wake up one day and they're just like, right then, let's prepare for the future.
Well, because
Let's be a bit more militia today.
Because there's a black man in the White House.
That's it.
That's what triggered it.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. Militias do tend to be quite right-wing and anti-government, and when you get that mixed together...
And racist.
With a load of guys who are armed to the teeth, living in the woods. And there's a black guy sitting in the White House as a president.
Every time you say it, there's this tune that I've heard with a rhythm, black guy in the White House. But I thought, don't turn it into a musical again, Claire.
No, you know what? You want to break into song, you break into song.
The irony is, Obama did fuck all for black people. Yeah. Unless they were wealthy.
Don't say such things about Saint Obama.
Oh, I saw him. He was on Jimmy Kimmel this week.
Was he?
Promoting his new book.
What's his new book about?
A Promised Land, it's called.
Well, like Martin Luther King.
I think it's autobiography.
Right, okay.
Oh, I see. So Martin Luther King was like, we'll get to the Promised Land, and the Promised Land is because having a black president.
Must be, yeah.
Well, that's a bit harsh. He's piggybacking off Martin Luther King.
Yeah, especially as he's admitted himself that during the 80s he'd be a moderate Republican. That was his policies. That's how far America's shifted to the right. Mm-hmm. That's what the Democratic Party are now. They're moderate Republicans. Right. We were like in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're Reagan.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I forgot how we got there.
Not me. I
fell down a bit of a weed hole then.
Obama's a cunt, that's what I was getting.
Ah, right. Saint Obama. So in 2010, Fox News personality Glenn Beck devoted airtime on 3 shows to the FEMA death camp theory, saying that he wanted to debunk it, but he just couldn't find the evidence. Although he did actually debunk it after mass criticism. Like, why are you promoting this dangerous conspiracy theory? Because this is dangerous. If you're saying, like, they're going to use the cover of a natural disaster to launch a coup on America and round up everyone who's a gun-owning patriot, and then apolitical dissenters, and you're either going to get sent off to forced labour or gassed by Crips, who are running the gas chambers and the fucking ovens, right? Then you're not going to want to go and seek help in the event of an emergency. Like, the hurricane rips through your area, FEMA turn up and say, come on, we've got a place for you to go. You're going to shoot the guy.
Yeah, you're going to start your own militia.
You're going to start your own. Your militia buddies are going to start shooting at FEMA trucks as they come into the town that's just been trashed. It's dangerous.
Well, you know how I know this is bollocks? We've had the perfect excuse for it, COVID. They could have gone, right, anyone infected, we'll get you in the camp, get you away from everyone.
Yeah.
They haven't done it, have they?
Well, yeah, our Nightingale hospitals haven't even been used, have they?
Yeah, well,
Just,
not to capacity.
Thankfully.
The only thing that they actually got right during this whole thing, ban a furlough scheme.
Really?
Cheers, Boris.
Do you think they've got it right?
I think
Because
they
they
got-
haven't been used, they didn't really
Well,
get
it's
it right.
better to
did
be
they?
safe than sorry.
Yeah, at least they planned for the fact that the NHS,
Eventually,
the hospitals would overstretch.
After
And,
the herd immunity policy was shot down.
yeah, but it's still one of the few things they did right.
You got to give them credit where credit's due. They did that right, and the furlough. Americans didn't get the furlough. They got a £1,200 check
Yeah,
one time. That was it.
It's pretty skanky, isn't it?
it is. It's terrible, really.
I think it's
And
like
they-
7 or 8 million people have lost their homes because of COVID.
I seem to recall there was going to be a
Where they
thing.
all living then?
I'm not
In the
homeless.
FEMA camps.
Oh my God, that's it. Maybe this conspiracy is so true that we don't even know it's going on. It's still all speculation.
And there has been concentration camps on US soil before.
I was going to tell you about that in a little bit, but I might as well do it now because
Japanese internment camps.
yeah,
American Japanese people.
yeah, they were rounded up and forced into internment camps because the Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Probably
Anyone with any Japanese
ancestry.
ancestry, they were rounded up.
Yes, and you could get out if you're an able-bodied man who volunteered to fight. Usually sent to the Western Front in Germany, although a few obviously there was translators and that in Japan for the Japanese front, but they never really saw combat because they didn't trust them in combat. Basically, they didn't trust the Japanese population, even though most of them came to America and had done reasonably well.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't rule this out. Not specifically just FEMA, but it's possible this could happen. Democracy is so fragile. We've seen that under Trump. Could happen. With the right or wrong person in charge.
Yeah, it's true. There's a 90-minute documentary made called Camp FEMA American Lockdown. That alleges that FEMA has the camps already. Most of the alleged camps are supposedly on military bases around the country, including those that are closed. But every single one of them has a railway station and an air link. So they can be resupplied by two ways. And they also claim the tall fences have a razor wire directed inwards, which is I mentioned earlier, to keep in the prisoners. And so, long-term patriot conspiracy theorist Jack McLam has gone so far as to claim the government has placed coloured dots on people's mailboxes. So when martial law is declared and foreign troops serving the NWO under the guise of the UN come marching down the street, they will know what to do with the people at each address.
Right.
Now,
So why don't you just take the spot off the letterbox and that job done, isn't it?
Well, yes, that would be... I think you just...
What happens if the ones with the dot are the ones that just are left alone?
Oh, well, yeah, you're fucked then, aren't you?
Oh, well, there's 3 colour dots.
Right, okay.
You need to know what they are. Do you know what they are?
Yes, I do.
Oh, in that case, then you're fine. Just get the colour which is fine. And
What if they've painted it on? They've got a little spray can and
paint over it.
and then they come back again and do it.
Paint over it again.
The postal service are doing it. The postal service are in on it.
Next time, set up a trap for it. So when he gets within 5 metres of it, triggers,
Right.
decapitates him or something.
Alright, he's decapitating the postal worker. He's a UN stooge, I suppose.
All I'm saying is it sounds ridiculous.
Well, do you want to know what happens with the dots, the
Go
coloured
on.
dots?
Go on.
Blue dot, you go off to the camp. A pink dot, slave labour.
Oh dear.
A red dot, executed immediately.
Oh, fucking hell.
Fuck it, I'll go red. What you guys having?
I'll have a blue one, please. I'm gonna,
Take my chance in the camps.
I'll take my chances.
No, there's only 3 dots. There's like 1 each. Looks like you got.
Oh,
slave
no.
labour.
No, we could be in the same group, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could be that. They basically go around to everyone. Oh, that guy owns several guns. Oh, red dot for him because he's dangerous.
Yeah, or he's a
Militia member.
Militia member, Uber patriot, whatever.
or political dissident.
Or a political dissident. If you're too far left, you're a communist.
Too far right it would be, though, wouldn't it? Because he's actually in the left.
Oh yeah. Well, either way, yeah. You know, you're right. No, you are right. Pink dot, they're going to use. That means you're able-bodied. They're going to send you off to the camps to work, and a blue dot is you just go off to the camp and get gassed.
I was just being like, you know, yeah. Let's
I've
just
got asthma and a gammy knee.
Let's choose.
Hopefully they won't choose me for the slave labour.
So what? You want to just go out to the camp and get gassed?
Well, that's the best one, isn't it?
No,
you're not going to get gassed straight away. You might be lucky. You might be in there for 6 months, and then you might get liberated. Execution is the worst one, obviously, isn't it? Because you're dead there and then. I don't want to be slave labouring for 6 months before I get liberated.
That's why I went through execution, because I don't know what you got slave labour, or you've got going off to the camp and you don't know what's going to happen there.
That's true. They could be like Mengele and experiment on you.
Yeah.
Or you might just do sort of work in the camps. You might be making weapons for these people.
Okay. I don't mind doing that.
Until but you're working like 18-hour days.
I know that'd be the slave labour. What are you doing in the
I don't
camps?
know what's going to happen in the camps, Mike.
What's happening in the camps?
I don't know what's happening.
Might be a holiday park.
Yeah, fucking hate
Like
you.
Auschwitz.
Oh God, Mike! Please just clarify you don't deny the Holocaust.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Some of them saying it.
They do, yeah. They genuinely, they will. I knew a girl that denied the Holocaust.
Never.
Literally said like, oh, it didn't happen.
I watched documentaries on the Ku Klux Klan, and then one guy was saying, yeah, Auschwitz was a holiday park. They had a swimming pool and everything.
Yeah. And yeah, genuinely, that's it. So, you can see the swimming pool here, and it was actually a water tank at the fire, because they had a fire brigade on the camp, like fire engine. There was a water tank for them, and the guards in the summer used to use it as a fucking swimming pool, in open air. They're like, oh no, the Jewish guys were using it. So no, they fucking weren't, mate.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And in 1970, the FEMA director Louis Gufrida, right, this adds to the theory, wrote a memo that reportedly advocated martial law in case of a national uprising by black militants and the transfer of at least 21 million black Americans to assembly centres or relocation camps. He actually advised that in a memo. So, it's 1970, you got the civil rights movements in full swing. There's riots, there's civil unrest. If FEMA has to take over, we're gonna basically move 21 million black people away from the cities and put them in internment camps. Exactly the same as they did to the Japanese.
And who said this?
This was the FEMA director Louis Guidrifa.
Fuck.
Wrote it in a memo sent out.
That was not meant to be seen by the public, I guess.
It was leaked because it had passed its top secret date. But it was 1979. Oh no, that was the plan, yeah.
Imagine getting that memo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah. Now, ultimately, belief in these camps requires one to conclude that no one's ever spilled the beans. Not one person. I mean, think of the logistics involved in rounding people up into vehicles, into trains, into buses, into airplanes, whatever, putting them all in this camp, and no one's ever come forward and said, yes, I was a guard for the FEMA death camps.
Yeah.
This is a thing. And that includes 100 senators and 435 congressmen in the US. Not one of them knows of the camps, or if they do, they're absolutely fine with it. So every single one would have to make these decisions. They'd have to pan power to FEMA.
Yeah, maybe the camps haven't been built, and it's in sort of the planning stage, or they've got the resources, it's ready to go. Do you know what I mean?
At any point.
Yeah, so they can knock these camps up in days, can't you? It don't take much to put up.
Well, if you've got abandoned military bases that are just lying dormant, they can be brought up to standard very quickly, can't they? They've already got the infrastructure there. And there are abandoned bases.
Secret bases.
And secret bases. Dulce base for a start, Area 51. Yeah. Would they be used? They're secure.
Possibly.
Not for the masses.
Nah. I wouldn't mind being at the Area 51 internment camp. Oh, look at that flying saucer! Look at it go! Stop hitting me!
The irony is, it's more likely the right are going to implement these camps than the left. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's why this is a right-wing conspiracy.
I mean,
They don't see the fact that this is the left that'll do it, not us.
these are the people.
We've already done it, though.
They don't believe in democracy. They're chanting "Stop the count of the votes."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if they're comfortable with just blatant cheating to get into power, who says they're not capable of erecting these camps and putting leftists into it?
I watched this video the other day, it was fantastic. I don't think it was satire, but this woman was interviewing a couple of guys at the Million MAGA March thing. And these two blokes, one's got a Confederate flag, they both got the hats on, and he's like, yeah, we want them to stop counting in the votes where we're losing, and the votes where we're winning, we don't have any problem with that. And he's like, you do understand that that's not democracy, right? He's no, that's this full voter fraud. We know Trump would win every state. He wouldn't get his head. And then his mate goes, yeah, and Trump knows it. You know, he's a genius. That's what his middle J's for. Donald J. Trump. We ain't dumb. He said, we ain't dumb. We know what the J stands for. It's genius.
Genius.
I think it might have been satire, but I hope it wasn't. So you remember Glenn Beck from Fox News, who was promoting this, giving it subsequent airtime. When he finally did admit there wasn't any evidence, Alex Jones, friend of the show, we haven't played full Alex in ages.
No, we haven't.
Responded by calling the Fox host an operative, a sick bastard, and a piece of crap.
Of course, it doesn't take much for Alex to turn on people, does it?
No.
No, let's face it. I mean, has Alex turned on Trump yet? I haven't seen much of Alex for a long time.
Haven't.
But now Fox have abandoned Trump. Alex is probably at war with Fox.
Yeah, he's probably the only one left.
Yeah, he's like he's the captain of the ship. He said if you had Alex Jones and Donald Trump on a ship, they'd be arguing over who was captain. And Alex Jones would like try and shoot himself first, so he didn't. They'd be having a thing like, "I'm going to shoot myself first." No, I'm the captain. No, you shoot yourself last, and then yeah, I can see that going.
I can imagine Rick Wiles and Jesse Lee Peterson still supporting Trump now.
Oh yeah, they do. All those guys do. Yeah.
There's a few out there.
Remember, God said he's going to win.
Yeah, it's obviously been cheated because God said he's going to win. He should have won. Anyway, they didn't. It's got to be cheated, isn't it? That's their thinking.
Yes, and they've lost credibility because they've been prophesying his glorious reign for 8 years.
Yeah,
but that's 4.
Like I said, they can just say, "Oh, they must have cheated."
Yeah. Right. So the last little bit of this I've got is that this roots of this theory at least do have truth. Operation Garden Plot, 1968. Declassified operation focused on preparing for sudden and unexpected civil disturbances or other emergencies endangering life or federal property. So basically an evacuation order, get the fuck out, something's about to go down.
Well, with the Patriots Act being passed,
Yeah.
now they can declare anybody a terrorist and detain them. I think it's up to 30 days.
Yes, things the same in this country actually. Oh, no, we can go longer.
Can we?
We can, I'm sure they extended it to like 90 days.
Well, they
From like
put it
30.
into Assange. How long they had him now?
Mate, you got to bang Pammy. Right?
Yeah.
In the Venezuelan embassy? What a tale that is!
Yeah.
I banged Pamela Anderson in the Venezuelan embassy. How fucking great's that?
He's Ecuadorian, actually.
Oh, Ecuadorian then, sorry.
Yeah. But he was under house arrest and then he was put in Belmarsh prison, where he is now, isn't it?
Has he left the embassy?
Yeah, they came and arrested him
Oh yeah, so they
a
did.
couple of years ago. Slung him in Belmarsh.
What's he
He's been having
doing?
solitary confinement and everything because they want to extradite him to the US for the official, whatever it is, the Spy Act or whatever it is.
I'd like to see Charles Bronson and what's his face share a cell in Belmarsh as like a comedy sort of sitcom.
Not very funny, would it? Julian Assange is a maid sitting half dead and Charles Bronson I think is dead.
No, he's not. Bronson's
Isn't he?
not dead. No, he's still in a solitary doing press-ups.
I thought you meant the actor.
No.
Charles Bronson.
No, I'm on about the...
So he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean the...
I mean, like the film Bronson. I want to see him and Julian Assange in a cell together as a sitcom.
Right to the BBC.
Alright. Okay, well, FEMA death camps. Where do we stand?
I think it's possible. It depends on who gets in power. Like I said, if you have a competent Trump, a competent fascist, it's been done before.
Yeah, but you would argue that Roosevelt wasn't a fascist and he signed the order for the Japanese internments.
So that proves I'll put even more.
But then again, look at it another way. In that scenario, the west coast of America had a lot of Japanese immigrants up and down it. The west coast is facing Japan. It would be very easy for the Japanese to land people in there and just mingle into society. So I can see it from a wartime view. Mm-hmm. And it's the same in Britain. Anyone who was German was rounded up and thrown in prison. Because you don't know if these guys are undercover or sleeper agents or saboteurs who've been waiting. Mm-hmm. You don't know that. I mean, as it happened, I don't think anything... They're all put in these internment camps. It was fucking horrible for them. People died of typhus and things like that.
Of course. Like today, it's terrible conditions.
You know, they weren't concentration camps, but they weren't that far away. At least, obviously they were fed. They had 3 meals a day, at least in America. In a concentration camp, everyone was just starved and worked to death.
Mm. It's still ain't good, is it?
No. Are they concentration camps? No. Is it a good idea to have large spaces where you can house a lot of people very quickly in the event of a natural disaster or a nuclear war? Yes. It is, isn't it? It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to keep people in, then yes, you would put the razor wire the other way. You know, because don't go out there, it's all shitty.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's just right-wing paranoia.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's possible, but I actually think it's more possible from the right wing. You don't get that many left-wing death camps. I don't know.
Well, Cuba.
Actually, China, isn't there? Yeah.
China. Although, are China really left-wing anymore?
Well, that's it, isn't it?
It's just a dictatorship, really, now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're communists, but we're capitalists as well.
They've got 1 million people, haven't they, in concentration camps at the moment, China?
1 million?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
The Uyghur people.
Who?
The Uyghur.
Never.
Or Ouija, something like that.
I don't think it's Ouija, that's what they just use ghosts and get out.
Yeah.
But that's like a totalitarian regime, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the part of this theory is that the UN, or who are, of course, the New World Order, are going to basically storm America, catch everyone unawares.
See, I think that's quite unlikely.
Yeah.
What I think's more likely is that a fascist is going to get into America and possibly carry this out. It's a possibility. You can't. It's happened before in the past.
Well,
It's happening again.
You'd hope
It's
you
happening
learn
now.
from the past.
Well, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
We never do we? Keep making the same fucking mistakes.
I mean, the clue's in the name, isn't it? It's history, his story. Mm-hmm. The clue's in the fucking name. Read it. Try and learn from it. That's the whole point of it. Don't repeat, if someone was in a similar situation to you, read about it, see what they did, see what worked, what didn't. What can you do? We don't learn at all.
Nope.
And we're kind of... Although saying that, I mean, Trump is probably on the way out. Boris is looking fragile. Somewhere else as well, right-wing party lost. Austria, I think. Had an election and the right-wing party was voted out, so maybe things are changing slightly.
Maybe.
Then we've got the left-wing FEMA death camps to look out for. The extreme left ones, where they round up all the right-wing people and throw them in, and it proves us all right.
It's even possible for that. I think it's more likely to come from the right personally, but it could happen.
Well, if anyone, the only people who've ever had like death camps are the right.
Well,
they kind of own that, don't they?
I don't know, the Soviet Union and China, but how far
are
they? We still had that discussion. Are they actually leftist?
Well, yeah,
Or are they totalitarian states by the time Stalin got his hands on it? And
well, it's almost like a right-wing state masquerading as a left-wing state
Could
that's
be.
totalitarian. What's the difference between a dictator? There's not a lot of difference. They sit on absolute power. They run the country the way
Yeah.
they think things should be run.
Yeah.
And Stalin was obviously a communist in name, only in name at least. So he has to keep to those ideals, but, you know, the gulags as well weren't really... Yes, people suffered horribly and were beaten and starved, but they weren't like factories of execution like the Nazi concentration camps. There was a literal conveyor belt of death.
yeah, nothing's worse than that, I don't think.
No.
Hopefully never again, but it's possible. I'm saying it's possible.
Claire?
I'm saying that I think these FEMA type plans, I think they're more for if shit hits the fan. It's not, you know, to sort of save us as opposed to kill us off.
Yeah.
And it's been taken out of context and made into a conspiracy to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And political use, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Claire. I think that it's...
Oh, with you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's still a possibility.
Oh, I mean...
At some point in the future, you can't rule it out, can you?
I mean, there was the things like there's like 50,000 cardboard coffins, body bags. I think they stockpiled. That's even more than that in America. I think it's about 50,000 in the UK that we got stockpiled. But isn't that just forward planning in case something does hit the fan?
Yeah.
You know?
You can't have bodies knocking about the place, can you?
Well, that's it. And I mean, even in the Blitz, that the British government had like 30,000 cardboard coffins made up. For just put the bodies in, just something to put them in. And you're like, well, that's just planning. You know people are going to die. You know, we've got a pandemic. I mean, all right, it's not exactly airborne Ebola, and we've got thousands dying a day, but, you know, we still need it fucking done, don't we? We still need that stockpile of stuff in case we are overwhelmed.
And I don't think it could be executed as well, these FEMA camps. You know, as I say, the people with the guns, they just turn on everybody, and it'd just be like warfare, you know, sort of like street
they
warfare.
said that about Germany. You know, it was a really liberal place, wasn't it?
Well, not really, no. Weimar Republic was centre-left, pretty much.
Well, it was. They were enlightened people. Everyone was highly educated. It was one of the most industrial places, #1 in the world, wasn't it, Germany at the time? I think even before World War One.
Oh, before World War One, then yes, yeah, things had they hadn't long been a country.
Yeah, but they were. But within 20, 30 years, look what they deteriorated into.
Yeah. I suppose that's the message.
It can happen to anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happening now. Refugee camps around the world, especially like Australia, Greece, Hungary, the US. I mean, our government wanted to put fucking offshore concentration camps, didn't they?
Yeah, oil rigs, something.
Yeah, I don't know what they...
I thought they wanted to go on ferries and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Floating ferries. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so it's weird. It's worrying. I think the best way to sum this up is it's worrying that they feel the need to have this stuff in reserve, but also, and the fact that it could be used for an insidious purpose, or it's actually quite reassuring they've got this stuff in place, because if the shit does hit the fan, at least you know I'm not going to die shivering and starving to death. I think that's the best way to sum it up. Obviously, if it's an insidious reason, we're all fucked anyway, aren't we? Let's face it.
Yeah.
You know, if you got that red dot on your letterbox, you're oh no.
It's like anything there is, like technology. Technology is neutral. It can be used for good or bad. It's who's using it. It's who's in charge. Who's using these FEMA camps. That's what it depends on, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Alright, so let's end the show on some weird news and fucked up facts.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So what we got first, Mike? Loo-bomber destroying portable toilets across US city in bizarre crime wave. Clearly they've never been to Reading Festival. We've all been to Reading, haven't
Yeah.
we? Yes, and the tradition on the Monday evening is destroy the toilet.
I have seen toilets destroyed when I was working at Reading one year, and it was like, over the radio, they were like, it's going on in Brown Camp.
Yeah.
Brown Camp.
The Dookie Bomber.
The Dickie Bomber.
The Dookie Bomber.
Dookie Bomber.
Instead of the Uni Bomber. Shit
I liked it.
Thanks, bro. Someone appreciates me.
That's harsh, I appreciate you. Porta potties in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania are under threat as a baffling series of bombings has caused toilet-based destruction across the city. There is currently no suspect and police have nothing to go on. This is the Daily Star, by the way.
Was that a pun? Nothing to go on?
Yeah, it's from the day. I've read it verbatim. Daily Star. A bizarre series of explosions in portable toilets is plaguing the US city of Pittsburgh. In the most recent incident, a construction crew arriving for work at 7 a.m. on the morning of Tuesday, November 10th, found that their toilet had been blown up. The city's crack bomb squad and crime units say they are determined that an explosive device had been used. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I've called the bomb squad in because my toilet's been blown up. Yeah, your toilet's been blown up.
Was it the plastic portaloos or...?
Yeah.
Couldn't they blow up on their own? Build with methane gas?
No, if they're the crack bomb squad, they'd look for traces of explosives so they would know what explosives have been used, and then you could try and link that to purchases and who might have that kind of stuff lying around.
I'm just wondering if they could happen.
Don't say that!
After he got struck by lightning, ignited the methane gases.
You know, they determined, so they obviously investigated, so it wasn't the methane build-up. Public Safety Assistant spokesperson Maurice Matthews, some people call him the Space Cowboy, some people call him the Doctor of Love.
Gangster of Love.
Gangster of Love, shit. Cut that bit, editor. Some people call him Maurice.
That's it. Because I talk about the pompousness of love.
That's it. So when they got on scene, they discovered the porta-john had evidence of an explosive device that went off inside of the porta-john. House-to-house investigations revealed this latest incident occurred at around 3:30 a.m. Oh, that's not nice. We woken up in the witching hour by an exploding portaloo.
No.
A homeowner living opposite the scene told police she heard a loud boom that broke a window in her home. We got pretty blessed and pretty lucky no one was injured, Matthews said at the scene, and police had brought in dogs to sniff through the toilet. Poor dogs. Explosive dogs are on there. Not literally explosive dogs.
It's a bit cruel, isn't it?
Explosives, they're trained to sniff out the residue of explosives. I watched a lot of CSI in my time. And there have been at least 3 portable toilet explosions in the city over the past couple of weeks, and police are as yet unsure whether the explosions are connected. Well, I think they might be. That's part of the investigation, to piece it all together and try and see if everything matches up. It's still early to tell. They said, well...
Some university students in it, having a crack.
Having a bet who can blow up a toilet.
Robbing a bit of something. Concocting it.
Yep. Loo-bomber, I love it. I like it. Take a stand against the evil that is porta toilets. Because they are disgusting and horrible and smelly, and flies get in, and you're at a festival and you're trying to have a shit, and all you can smell is everyone else's shit. It's horrible.
There's no harm done except a bit of shit flying about the place, is it?
You know, just burn them to the ground.
Not very environmentally friendly, though, is it?
And they need to start making them out of hemp. My God. Hemp portaloos. Seriously, you can build houses out of hemp. Weird portaloos get burnt down, everyone gets fucking high.
Take it to Dragon's Den.
I think we might. Copyright me. Trademark us.
Yeah, but you have to inhale the shit as well, don't you? That's the problem.
Yeah. But that's going to be outbalanced by the hemp.
Or just stop burning portaloos.
No, it's a tradition. It's a Guy Fawkes night. Alright then, next one.
Dine and dash woman flees through restaurant's air vent but crashes through ceiling.
That's elaborate and stupid.
Yeah.
And desperate.
A woman who was trying to get away with not paying her bill in a posh Canadian restaurant came a cropper after her escape plan took a dramatic wrong turn. A bizarre incident took place back in March, but the video has been released today by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
The Mounties.
As
The
part of-
Mountie. What a wrestler the Mountie was.
Yeah. As part of a campaign to give the public an insight into their work. The woman who had ordered and eaten her meal, but when the bill came she tried to do a runner. However, her elaborate exit plan involved going to the ladies' loos and climbing to freedom through an air vent.
So she's thought about this, she's planned it.
The would-be dine and dash expert was still crawling around the restaurant's ventilation system when RCMP officers arrived. However, while police and restaurant staff were still trying to decide how to deal with the trapped woman, she fell through the ceiling, landing right at the feet of the stunned mountie.
Oh god, it's like that scene from Aliens where they're in the fucking vents.
Yeah.
And then they crash to the ceiling. Oh,
12 metres. 10 metres.
they're in
That's
the room. They're in the room.
I can't be right. You're not reading right.
It's game over, man.
Game over.
You know what? That's fucking impressive. The level of commitment that woman has shown to her hobby, trade, desperation.
Eating
That's it,
a
we don't know
really
what-
posh meal, then going off to the toilets and fucking crawling through, you know, total dignity thrown out the door.
Yeah. She's gone in there with like a.
She splats on the floor, out the ceiling.
And what she's done is she's stripped naked and greased herself up so she's doing the vents better.
She should have done that probably.
She should have done that. And then she just falls naked and greased at the feet of. Who are you keeping in this restaurant? I bet the first question asked was like, they're running slave labour. That was the first thing, and then they're running slave labour. This woman's trying to escape. Pizzagate, but for older people. Oh.
Vealgate.
Vealgate in this scenario, because
Posh restaurant.
Posh restaurant.
veal. Wow. Alright then, last one.
Okay, so Elvis Presley's hair is saved from the floor by the barber, and it's to be auctioned for £6,000.
Oh my god.
So the black strands of the king's famous quiff were swept up by his barber, Homer Gilliand,
Yeah, I guess so.
who flogged the cuttings to fans to allow, following Elvis, his death in 1977.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh no. So yeah, it's a bit off the front of his quiff, and it's stuck to a piece of card.
The long-life British fan Tom Unwin snapped up the hair in 2010 to add to his memorabilia collection, which also includes the King's racquetball racket he bought. Oh, God. She said, I went to my local pub the once, on the White Horse. It's just down the road. Go there on a Sunday night sometimes, and they used to have like karaoke.
Yeah.
And there was this whole group of people that were, I'm going to quote, friends, who travelled around from pub to pub at the weekends doing various karaoke nights. And this bloke was outside and I walked in, and he was dressed like, I thought it was Johnny Cash. He was dressed all in black with an Elvis haircut, swept back grey hair, and I was like, fucking hell. I was speaking to him outside after we were both smoking, he's like...
He wasn't real Elvis, was he?
No. Well, he might have been. But he's like, oh yeah, I love Elvis, I always sing Elvis numbers, and he's one of the people talking to you, you don't give a shit, you know.
I know well.
I always do
It's on this podcast, come on.
I always do Elvis numbers, and you know, he goes, oh, I've been at Graceland. Oh, I'm not an Elvis impersonator. I was like, oh, I've got the jumpsuit and the sequins, and you know, and I've been at Graceland. And I'm like, oh, that's great, mate. I said, I just think the best thing Elvis did was die. You know, and he's like, 4 times he told me he was not an Elvis impersonator, even though he owns all the gear. And at the end of the night, he slipped the landlord a card, and I went, Ray, what did that Crikey, who was he speaking to? He goes, oh, he's an Elvis impersonator. He's seeing if I wanted him next week.
You know what? This guy could slice a bit of his DNA and inject it into some little marmoset, so
Oh my god, yeah.
They can start growing like his quiffs and shit.
Well, they just clone him from the hair.
Yeah.
Although I would like to see Elvis monkeys.
Yeah, Elvis monkeys with guitars doing the...
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Ain't nothing but a ain't nothing but a chimpanzee, ain't you?
Yeah. Ain't nothing but a chimp, man.
I mean, come on. Just do that. That wasn't an elaborate scheme. It's $6,000 for some fucking hair.
But you get all that out of it.
What? Cloning Elvis?
Yeah.
He's a 75-year-old retired building site manager. If I was one of his kids, I'd be so pissed off he'd spent $6,000 on some hair.
He's selling it.
Oh shit, yeah, we just went to fetch $12,000.
He bought the hair 10 years ago and the racket. The two combined are going to be £12,000.
Alright, now I'll be very happy with Dad's mad Elvis collection.
He could always keep one piece, couldn't he? And still do his splicing experiment.
He only needs one hair.
Exactly.
What if
You
it's
can have it all.
one hair to own them all? Yeah. Oh, well, alright then.
Just think of the joy that loads of little like Elvis monkeys could spread.
Yeah, one in every corner. Doing a different song. Oh man. Do you mean it was the best of times and the blurst of times? Fucked up facts?
Yeah.
Facts, fucked up facts.
Reports said children screamed, women fainted, and a small boy broke his arm in the chaos when John Hetherington wore the first top hat in public.
Wow.
What?
Was it that sexy? Women swooned.
Women fainted, it said, yeah.
A small boy broke his arm.
Yeah, in the chaos.
Well,
So the small boy literally was just like fell on by his mom.
yeah, pretty much. She fainted. Oh my god, that man had a large hat.
Imagine
How
what they would have
tall
done
he
if,
is.
if he'd had a mankini.
Damn.
No, I want to go back in time and do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember the first time I saw one of them in person. It was horrible.
My dad owns one.
See?
Yeah, he got bought it for a joke. I don't know if he's ever worn it, but I think he's taken it with him on holiday. So probably. He probably is a swinger, to be fair. Randy old goat.
Occam's broom.
Occam's broom. So is that like Occam's razor?
Yeah, but it's a broom.
Right.
Is a term coined by the biologist Sidney Brenner to describe the process whereby inconvenient facts that don't fit into one's hypothesis are swept under the rug.
Oh, okay, like flat earth theory.
Kind of. It's a bit like cognitive dissonance, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't like something, you just ignore it.
Yeah.
And it's okay, Occam's broom, I love it.
Joseph Ortegassi of Monacey, a rodent that lived 3 million years ago, was the size of a cow.
A rat the size of a cow.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a bit of crowbar.
Was it furry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like a capybara.
Capybara?
That's it.
Ah.
Oh, I don't know if I could bash that skull in with a crowbar.
I'd like to
Maybe.
ride it. You could ride it.
That'd be pretty sweet, actually. Mind you, I did
Milk
chill
it.
Milk it.
Yeah.
No, ride it. Hold its ears. Come on.
I'd have a little stirrups put on it and a bridle and stuff. Yes.
What would you feed it though?
Oh, fruit, berries, grass maybe,
You'd have to
meat,
have a whole farm to
human
feed
meat,
that. Size the field to feed it.
tofu, tofu. A friend of mine messaged me the other day saying like, oh, Lewis Hamilton's got a vegetarian, like, vegan dog, that can't be healthy, can it? And I was like, no. No, well, that dog's really unhappy.
They're carnivore or something.
Yeah.
Omnivores sometimes.
Well, mine eats grass all the fucking time.
Does anyone want to know what the top native predator on the island of Montserrat is?
Go on then.
Does anyone have a guess?
Top rated predator. Oh, it's probably something really daft, like it's a honey badger.
No, along the right lines, it is pretty daft.
Ooh, I was thinking more fatal, like snake, but that's not.
Ooh, you're close. Closer than Ben.
Really?
It's actually the mountain chicken.
What?
Who's that closer than it?
Hang on a minute, which is actually a frog. But for some reason it's called the mountain chicken.
Okay, alright.
Amphibian, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mountain chicken.
So it's a front.
Oh, did they give it a shitty name to like make it not so scary?
Why is it so fatal and
It's a top predator.
top predator? Well, how can it be a... How big is this frog?
It's the size of a cow.
Size of a chicken.
Size of a chicken. Fuck me, a frog the size of a chicken. That'd be terrifying.
I don't know how big it is, but yeah, apparently it's top native predator. Probably because it's venomous, maybe, and
Can I
animals
lick it
don't
and
eat
get high?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was
you
thinking
know.
the same. It's a predator for other animals, but for humans, it's like LSD frogs.
Whoa. Eyes like piss holes in the snow.
There is no critical period to learn a second language. Adults actually learn languages faster than children, which I didn't know.
I tried to learn a new language and failed miserably. Although it was the hardest language in the fucking world to learn.
Cool.
Probably had a lot to do with it.
That totally blows out the water about, like, you know, children being able to learn more than one dialect in their sort of younger years, doesn't it?
But if you spoke two in your formative years in two languages, your brain will pick it up, won't it? Because that's when the reason we speak English is we were spoke to in English.
Mm.
If we were spoke to in German and English, we'd end up being bilingual at an early age. Because the brain at that point, in the language centres forming, it would just literally soak it in.
Mm.
I think as adults you can learn more, because as a kid you've got more distractions in your own head, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, plus your brain hasn't probably formed, and
you're smoking weed as a teenager and you forgot a load of shit. I don't remember half my teenage years. It's terrible, really.
crows know that they have brains
Right.
and are capable of pondering the process of their own thoughts.
How'd they know that?
I don't
I was
know.
thinking exactly the same.
Excuse
So
me.
they asked him.
Excuse me, Mr. Hey, Crow. Russell Crowe. You. You know you got a brain, yeah? Yeah, I spent loads of times pondering my own... Does that mean that crows can get fucking existential crises where they ponder their own fucking existence in the scheme of things? Am I real? I do like to squawk. Is my squawk real? Should I hang around with a murder? Maybe they're not... maybe they're not doing it for me anymore. Maybe it's not my own murder.
Well, if you do a murder, don't bury them under a tree.
Alright.
Because a tree which has darker leaves than surrounding trees can indicate there's a dead body buried beneath it.
Interesting. See, what I would do is I would kill someone, store the body, phone an anonymous tip for the police to dig in a certain area saying there's a body there, wait until they finish digging, take the body to that area, dig a grave, throw the soil back over, and then go back, because they won't dig there again because they found nothing the first time.
I thought you were going to use them to just dig a hole for you.
Well, maybe. If they're still alive at that point.
No, you get the police to dig the hole
Well,
for
yeah,
you.
but they cover it back over, but it will be freshly moved, so I suppose it's not as much digging, not as much effort, is it?
Mm.
And they won't look there again because they've dug there once already. Not that I've thought about this.
And you've just announced it to the world, your plans.
I didn't decide there was a plan. If I was going to do it, I'd have done it by now. Or have I? I mean, no. Sorry, next one.
Eating polar bear liver can cause your skin to peel off and your hair to fall out.
What, is it fucking radioactive?
No idea.
Cool. Let's not do that then.
How bad is my skin peeling off? Am I down to muscle? Or... Because I
Depends how much you eat, I guess.
Because I've got, like... I'm not concerned about losing my hair, to be honest, because it's nearly all gone already anyway, but how much skin are we talking? I want to know. I might give it a try, just in the name of science. Depends on what it tastes as well, to be fair. It's only a major factor. I mean, it's not tortoise, is it? You know, I hear that's amazing.
Physicists have recently shown that time is self-healing. That if you did travel back in time, you would have been able to prevent the events that led you to travel back in time in the first place.
Why would I want to?
Well, say you wanted to go back and kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Time would self-heal and Hitler would still be born.
Alright, okay, so there is no butterfly effect. There is no granddad paradox.
Nope.
So I can go back in time and shoot my great-granddad, and nothing would happen, nothing would change.
You would still be born eventually.
Yeah, but would I be born on the same day? Would I be born...
Possibly not. I don't know. Some things might be different. I don't know, that's all it says. They did an experiment, didn't they? Some particles and things, and they figured it out.
Wow.
Okay.
When a statement is paired with a picture, you are more likely to believe it is true.
Ah, the meme.
Yeah.
Yes, this is called the truthiness effect.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we see that, pick or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Pick and text. Oh, meme.
Meme, yeah.
It's like a double whammy. Richard Dawkins coined that term, you know?
Did he?
Meme, yeah.
Oh.
I wonder when it got into the dictionary.
I don't think it was that long ago.
What does it mean then? Meme?
It was like,
Where did it get from?
oh god, I honestly can't remember. I can Google it. You give me a second. Yeah. An element of a culture or system of behaviour passed from one individual to another by imitation or non-genetic means, or an image, video, piece of text, etc., typically humorous in nature, that is copied and spread rapidly by internet users, often with slight variations.
What I really wanted to know is, how did he come up with the word? Meme. Is it me squared? I don't know.
It comes from the Greek word mimimi, which comes from the Greek, so he's coined it from that, and it means in Greek something imitated or something copied.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, so the Greek word is like mimimi, which is M-I-M-E-M-E, and then he took meme from that. Interesting.
I know what meme means.
Yeah. I know someone that calls them a mimi.
A meme.
And he's the guy who's like only a few years older than me, and I'm like, dude, it's a meme. He's like, no, it's a meme. It's not you the only one that calls it that.
No, I think my mum did as well. I was like, I'm making memes, Mum. Like, what's a meme?
I don't know if my dad knows what a meme is, or my mum for that matter, but they would be that's the point, I don't know what they are, they're really effective.
Yeah.
I just said, Mum, it's a visual joke. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, they are really, you'd argue they've revolutionised everything. Memes.
And a good old GIF.
And a GIF, I mean... You know,
I don't think
how
would
do
know
people,
what a GIF is. She goes, oh, GIF?
How do people spread fucking political opinions nowadays? Instead of writing a long reply, you just share a meme.
Yeah.
They've become the ultimate argument decided in a way on the internet. They've changed governments. Bot farms, just sharing memes. When you watch The Boys season 2, you know, it's a massive theme in that movie, the way that memes and internet presence can alter people's beliefs, alter people's minds, alter people's behaviours. You know, so a war crime can look like nothing. It can look like, oh, it was them or us.
Yeah.
You know, and over time that changes opinion. So yeah, watch The Boys season 2, it's fucking great. Bit of a slow burn, but yeah, worth it in the end. That was brought to you by Amazon. And Ben. Okay, Mike, go on.
Experiments conducted by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms found that it is virtually impossible to set fire to a pool of petrol by throwing a lit cigarette into it.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, aviation fuel does not catch fire as badly, as quickly as people think.
Cool.
You can drop a lit cigarette into a spill of aviation fuel and it will not catch fire. Sparks, however, as your aircraft grinds across the floor, because its undercarriage is gone, probably would set it off. And
that would be the increased friction.
yeah, all the
then
sparks of the metal
then,
body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fuel tank's ruptured and sparks are going at higher temperatures as it glides along. Yeah. But still,
Yeah,
there's
they
a
should still
cheery.
put it in films. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bit of fire, a bit of explosion.
Oh, damn right. Mike?
Yeah. During the First English Civil War, the royalist Horatio Carey used this flag, which is believed to allude to his enemy, the 3rd Earl of Essex, marriage issues. Do you want to see it?
Oh, that's fantastic. It is a big flag with is that a dog in a barrel?
Looks like that.
And it says, "Come out, you cuckold." Oh, that's fantastic. Anyone who doesn't know what a cuckold is, that is basically where you're aware that your wife is fucking someone else and you don't do anything about it. You're like, oh, you're a cuckold. You know, it's you weren't enough to satisfy your wife, so she went elsewhere and got it. And you have cuck porn as well.
Is there?
Yeah, where like a guy will be made to watch someone fuck his wife, and vice versa. There's cuckold and cook queen stuff. Cook queen is like the female version. They have to watch their husband fuck another girl. It's all a very detailed industry.
That's voyeurism, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. You get off on the denial and the humiliation. Basically. And watching your partner fuck someone else. I assume, it's not my thing, I just know about it.
What about the people that just do it for fun, like dogging?
Oh, well, that's completely different. That's just voyeurism at its best. That's good old-fashioned voyeurism. Where you just, no complicated issues. You're getting off on...
You're just walking your dog one night.
Yeah. You're like, hey, fancy a shag?
Oh, you come across a car, don't you?
Oh, that's right. And if the lights are on, you can watch.
Is that how it is?
Yeah, the lights are on, you can watch. The lights are off, leave them alone. But they might turn the lights on and off during, depending on what they're doing. Yeah, you can stand and watch through the windows and everything. Yeah. I haven't been dogging.
I was going to say, if you haven't got a car, have you, Ben?
Exactly. No, I haven't been dogging, but I used to know about these things. Look, I work in a warehouse. People leave the Sun on the table. They're always on about dogging or something like that. I read the Sun because it's something to do with break. I can't smoke for 30 minutes. I have to the bench at the smoking area because of COVID.
Oh.
So I have to go and sit down for a few minutes because I'm old. I have to have at least 10 minutes sit down in an 8-hour day. So yeah, we're reading the Sun, and yeah, it's mental.
A lot of dogging going on.
A lot of dogging going on. There's always dogging stories. It's incredible. Because I always read the problem pages too, for just the comedy value. Always a woman in a bra or a man in his boxers in a situation where you wouldn't be in your bra and boxers. You know, like they're doing the washing up.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You get quite involved over the 5-day story, though. Oh no, I hope Barry's not cheating with Sheila. Oh, he was. Oh man. Well, you fucked it up, Barry. You had a wife, kids. Barry. And you, Sheila. Should have known better. Sorry. Oh.
A judge in Oklahoma has ruled that forcing someone to listen to Baby Shark on repeat is inhumane.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Yeah, I agree. Fully.
Ask the kids to go upstairs with your tablets. Upstairs.
I couldn't do with that. And the dance as well. No, couldn't do it.
The South Korean equivalent of looking for a needle in a haystack is looking for Mr. Kim in Seoul.
Ah, because he never got there.
You never find him, only
Oh, no.
Kim's in Seoul.
Oh yeah, good point, yeah. I was thinking of Kim Il-sung, sorry.
According to new research from the University of Bath, politicians who lie more often are more likely to win their elections.
Well,
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense in this country. Makes sense in America.
makes sense in every country, doesn't it?
Every politician lies, apart from me. Apart from me. If I bang my secretary, I'll tell you. When asked.
Well, you'll probably be banging her in the autumn now.
Why is that?
Because humans on average have the highest sex drive in the autumn.
Makes sense.
Snuggle down for winter.
The child will be born in the summer, won't it?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. I was born in March, wasn't I? So, yeah, must have got it on sometime around autumnish.
My mum said I'm a cider baby. Too many ciders at the cider house or whatever.
Oh, my mum used to go there. You cut
You
this
could
bit
be a
out.
cider baby.
No, I wasn't. She wasn't with me dad. No, I haven't got any half brothers anywhere floating around that I know of. I'm assuming that she, well, she listens. Shit. No, I know you were faithful, Mum. Go on, Mum.
Okay, that's one. About 90% of the serotonin, which is the happy hormone, in your body is produced by your gut bacteria.
Wow.
How can we promote it?
I mean,
Yakult.
yeah. Happy gut. Happy you. Brought to you by Yakult. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, maybe that's why happiness is, a comfort food, isn't it?
Happiness is a cigar.
Good hamlet. Now, if I'm ill, I go and get a 3-litre bottle of Pepsi Max and a 12 bag of Watsits. And I watch films and drink that, and it makes me happy. Because it's like, Pepsi Max is really sweet, the Watsits are cheesy, it's one of my two favourite things. Sweet and cheesy.
Not a nice chicken soup or...
Nope. No, I'll dry toast if I have to have something warm, but yeah.
Try to...
Bag of Watsits, bottle of Pepsi Max and a few joints. Usually sorts the flu out for me.
What do you reach for, Mike?
Come on, couple of paracetamol to begin with.
No, it's a bit psychological. I watch cartoons. I watch the real Ghostbusters or the Batman series, the Batman animated series. I watch that and it'll just be like, yeah, this is really mindless, dull stuff, but it's making me take my mind off feeling shit.
It's that regression thing again.
Yeah.
Back to his childhood.
Back to my childhood and eating Watsits and drinking Pepsi
You've
Max.
been watching Tora then?
Oh man, I haven't seen that in ages actually. Oh, I watched a really good film. Oh God, what was it called? The Final Countdown. Had Martin Sheen and Kirk Douglas in it. The USS Nimitz from 1984 gets sent back in time to an electrical storm. Ends up in just before Pearl Harbor, the day before Pearl Harbor.
Save today.
It's just about to. It's weird. They have this whole moral. The whole film's like this moral dilemma about should they intervene, and then the captain says, "Look, at the end of the day, we're here to defend the US, whether that's past, present, or future. We're US servicemen. We're going to attack the fleet." It's just the 1984 US news, nuclear powered jets, guided missiles, all the bollocks against like 20 carriers and so many destroyers of the Japanese fleet, and you're like, who would win that? That's really intriguing. And then just as they're about to engage, the thing opens up again and swallows and takes the ship back to the present, and you never find out.
Well, they wouldn't
So
have been able
that-
to stop it anyway.
That's it.
So
That's
type
what.
self-healing we just discovered.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go.
It would have happened anyway.
Happens anyway. Actually, good movie. I was just spoiled with everyone, but it was in 1984, so no excuses. And on that note, I want to say that I've been Ben. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook. Listen to Devil's Advocate. On Facebook, we are Current of the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. Twitter is Apocalypse Ball. Instagram, Apocalypse Ball. And, oh God, Anchor, Current of the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse.
YouTube, Apocalypse Ball.
YouTube, Apocalypse Ball. And SoundCloud, Current of the Ball in the PTA.
Not the Parents Teacher Association. I don't know what it looks like.
It does.
You never noticed?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
I noticed as soon as we did it, but it's like, wow, what can you do? We couldn't fit it all on.
Alright, thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't do the favour, don't join the cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been Clair. Keep an open mind, but not so open it dribbles out.